Have you ever stared at a blank editing timeline in a video editing software and had no idea where to start? In this video, I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on how to start editing videos even if you are not a tech person and using AI. I will tell you some of the most common mistakes that cost people tens of hours and also show you some modern technology that you can use to make the whole process 10 times faster. I've edited thousands of videos throughout the last 7 years and also taught hundreds of editors how to edit, so I hope this video is going to be helpful, and let's get started. Oh, and by the way, you probably want to stay until the end of this video because I will also show you how you can distribute your long form videos into all the different platforms and make multiple types of short form media from it in just a couple of clicks. Alright, so first let's look at the complete editing workflow that we are going to use. So these are the 4 phases. First, smart recording. Second, organization and assembly. Third, story construction. And fourth, polishing and distribution. If you can master this workflow, it will make you edit faster and more efficiently than people who have been editing for years. So let's talk about smart recording. Recording smart actually saves you hours upon hours in editing. This is something that most people don't even think about, and it costs them a bunch of time. Because if you just spend one extra hour or even just 10 minutes to prepare for your recording and also record in a way that will make it easier for you to edit, it can save you so much time in post-production. So the first thing that goes into this is to actually plan your story, or if you're making a YouTube video like this one, make a bullet point based script that you can read off of and kind of go off of so you don't go on a bunch of random tangents. Then second of all, record multiple takes. You want to give yourself multiple options in recording so you can choose the best one, and that way you can also not have to do a bunch of retakes and re-recordings once you are in editing. Then third, record room tone. Between different sections of the video, you want to take a couple second break to make it much easier also for you to edit it in the future. Then capture a bunch of B-roll. You want to capture, if you're doing a vlog, as much B-roll as you can, or if you're doing a tutorial or a sit-down video, try to get a lot of different elements that you can use as B-roll. This is going to make it so much easier for you in the editing to make the overall video way more engaging. And then you also want to think about formats. Where are you going to be actually using this piece of content that you are recording? Are you only going to be posting it on YouTube, or are you also going to post it on short form platforms? Because if you are, you want to film yourself in a way that will make it easy for you to get the framing right, even if you use a 9:16 aspect ratio instead of 16:9. As far as modern recording solutions, if you're making an online interview or a sit-down video like this one, I highly recommend using Riverside. They are also supporting this video, so thanks to them for making it happen, and they are basically an all-in-one editing and recording studio, and Riverside handles all the technical complexity. It records separate audio tracks, creates automatic backups for you, does real-time transcription, and even stores your footage in the cloud. You can even invite remote guests and have them do a podcast episode together with you in super high definition. So that's it about smart recording. Let's move on to the next step. And the next step is organization and assembly. Now look, I know this is a boring point, but organization really is everything. It's going to make your life so much easier if you actually create separate folders for the different elements of your video. I personally like to make a folder for the A-roll recording, which is me in the video, then a separate folder for different types of B-roll, a separate folder for any sound effects or songs that I want to use, and so on. Because once you are actually putting the edit together, you oftentimes need to find all the different files that you want to use at that specific point in time. And if you don't have them named properly, and if you don't have them organized in folders, it's going to take you 10 times longer to find exactly what you need at that specific moment than if you just did a little bit of organization beforehand. Then once you have your files organized, you're ready to get started with the actual work. So first, the assembly edit. Before you would worry about different transitions and incredible effects, you want to just create a skeleton of your video first. Here's the exact assembly process that I like to follow. First, I import and organize all of my media, make sure that we get the video and the audio synced up, and then also remove obviously bad takes. Now, Riverside is amazing for this process because you can just press a couple of buttons to remove all of the bad takes, get rid of all of the silences or ums and ahs and filler words, and get the basic base edit ready in just a couple of minutes. A solid assembly edit is basically 80% of the job done because it will make it way easier to just add some extra spice onto it and get the final version out. Now, phase 3 of the workflow is story construction. Editing is basically storytelling. The whole reason why you are editing a video is not just to make it look cooler and amazing, it's actually to tell the story that you are trying to tell with the video more effectively and in a more engaging way for the viewer. Again, this is where editing becomes an art. You are not just editing a video, but you are creating an experience for the viewer. In terms of different story elements that you can use and what you want to pay attention to, you have pacing, and that is basically deciding when to cut fast versus when to cut slow and let the video breathe a little bit. Then you have rhythm, creating flow between different scenes. You have tension, building and releasing tension in the viewers, and clarity, making sure your message gets across clearly. Now, what I also like to use here quite a bit is text-based editing. This is something that most people have no idea that it even exists, but with Riverside, once you uploaded your footage, it actually transcribes the entire thing and you can edit your video just like if it was a Word document. So here's how the text-based editing process works. You work from transcripts instead of timelines, and you edit by deleting words and not by hunting for cut points. So this way you can see the entire story structure in text format. This approach really lets you focus on the storytelling instead of getting lost in the technical details. Now, phase 4, we have distribution and polishing. In terms of professional polishing techniques that you can use in your edit, you have audio cleanup. You want to make sure that your audio is very crispy, nice, and there is no extra background noise. Riverside actually has a built-in feature for this where you can just click one button and get the audio highly upgraded using AI. So it's going to sound like you basically recorded it in a professional studio. You also have color correction. So if you want to make your edit look just a little bit more cinematic, you can use some color grading and color correcting as well to get it just right. Graphics and text, you can add any sort of graphics or text on top of your screen to illustrate your points better and get the information across more accurately. You can use sound design to really make the video a lot more immersive for the viewer. And here again, I would like to highlight the AI audio enhancement because having good audio is just as important, if not way more important, than having good video quality. Smart B-roll generation with Riverside, for example, you can have it automatically add B-rolls to a specific part of it just by prompting the software. Creating auto captions instead of manually having to write captions for your whole video, you could just tell the AI to add captions for the entire video and it's going to do it for you in just seconds, and this used to take me hours not too long ago. Again, the best part about this is that you can really focus on what you are trying to create instead of getting lost in the technical details. AI can do a lot of that work for you. Now, obviously, right now I have to highlight that AI does have limitations. You will not be able to still create everything that you want, all the craziest and most complex 3D animations with just AI, or it's going to take you probably a lot of different softwares and multiple takes. But if you are just watching this video, you're probably just trying to get your first couple of YouTube videos out or finish a project, and you don't want to spend hundreds of hours mastering a really complex and expensive editing software. So that's why I'm making this for you and showing you all these different features. And then next up, we have repurposing and distribution. The smartest video editors and creators create once and then distribute that piece of content everywhere. Here's the repurposing strategy that I would recommend you. You first make a full-length video for YouTube that can be 10-20 minutes long or however long your video is, and then you can create short clips from that. For example, with Riverside, you can just tell it to make you some highlight reels from that specific long-form video, and it's going to automatically do it for you, find some of the most engaging parts, add captions to it. You can easily add extra B-roll on top as well and get it done in just a couple of minutes. Again, here you are creating vertical versions of the horizontal video. And then you could also turn it into an audio only podcast, or you could make a tweet from the long form video that you just edited by asking the AI to make a tweet or a thread for you for X. And this way you can have your videos reach a lot more viewers without really much extra work needed. So if you're ready to implement this workflow, here are your next steps. First, you want to choose your tools. I recommend starting with user-friendly softwares first so that you don't get too overwhelmed. Then second, practice this workflow that we just talked about. Follow all 4 phases on a simple project. Then third, build templates. You can actually create templates around your caption style and all of these different things that you are going to be using in your videos, so you can create consistency across multiple projects that you will make and also save a bunch of time. Then fourth, join communities. One of the best ways to improve as an editor is to actually get feedback on your work, not only from your friend, but people outside of your circle as well. And fifth, embrace AI technology. Again, you don't want to be left behind. You want to be constantly looking out for the newest updates and latest technologies that you can use to make your editing workflow more efficient. And if you want to sign up for Riverside and start making your first video, you can sign up in the description down below using the code VINCE to get an entire month for free on the Pro plan. And right now they are also doing some amazing discounts and deals, so you want to have a look out for that as well. And if you want to learn more about how you can use Riverside, I've made multiple videos on this software, so I will leave those in the description as well so you can watch them, and also I will leave their official channel where they also have some amazing tutorials available. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.